Hi, welcome to our fourth show, American College Cricket Live. And there's so much happening. Originally, we were going to discuss the IPL, ABDA's retirement, and of course, the first test between Pakistan and England at Lord's, the first day today. But now we've got some some tremendous news out of Canada, announcing some big names for their Global T20, which will happen next month. And so, give me 1 second. I'm trying to get on my co-host. Ibrahim, are you there? For some reason, Ibrahim seems to be stuck in space. I added him, but he's not getting on here. Let's see if we can try this again. So today we'll talk about some of those big names that were announced for the Canada Global T20. Hi, Ibrahim. There you are.
Hi, Lloyd. How's it going?
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And as I was just introducing, now Ibrahim, of course, is from Ryerson University, a former club president, batsman. But as I was just saying, the news that we have today is that Cricket Canada has announced some big names, marquee
Yep.
players for their Global T20. You must have heard some of those names. What do you think?
Well, first of all, the best thing about this whole thing is that it gives from like a cricket fan perspective, first of all, then I'll get into more of the specific. It's just that it's a great opportunity for all the cricket lovers in this community in Toronto. We've got a big community here of cricket. It's just a great opportunity to see all these big names like Sunil Narine, Chris Lynn, Steve Smith, for especially number one ranked Test batsman in the world. So just to see these guys up close, that's going to be something that's very, very special and something that people over here are going to relish. And secondly, it's an opportunity for the game to grow as a whole over here in this region. I know American college cricket, Canadian college cricket have been doing a lot of grassroots work in terms of universities and colleges, but just to get to the other audience that's out there, it's going to be a great experience.
Now, of course, you live in Toronto, so you'll be in the thick of things because the matches are going to be happening at King City.
Yep.
And we played there back in 2015 when we did our first USA versus Canada series. And
Yep.
it's a pretty nice facility. A bit of a drive into the countryside to get there, but it can host big events like this.
Yep. So King City actually has 6 grounds, I believe, but only one is sanctioned by the ICC as an international ground. I believe that's where the matches will be taking place. It is a great facility. It has its own pavilion. You've probably seen. Has a restroom, changing area. Has a pretty decent restaurant as well. So I think it's a great overall facility because obviously it won't be matching up to those international level stadiums around the world, but it's a pretty good facility, one of the best we have in Toronto, and it's just like as you said, out in the countryside, gives people an experience to get away from the city and just experience on cricket and focus on game.
And I think the timing for the tournament, a 2 week period, is pretty good as well, because a lot of, in terms of school, universities might be off in Canada on the summer break.
Yep. Yep. So summer break's already started for
So there you go.
most universities. So I believe all universities. It's now the spring and summer term for most people. Like myself, we're taking spring summer courses, and perfect opportunity. And in terms of actually, in regards to anything else, the best thing is the weather. I believe during that time frame, because as we know, even though it's still the end of May and June is around the corner, but the weather, as you know, in Toronto can never be trusted. So it's still sometimes it's raining, and it's last week actually, just last week we had to cancel games because there's too much fog in the ground. It wasn't even raining; it was just too much fog. You couldn't see anything, so they had to cancel afternoon games because of that. So I believe the timing is just right because at that time of the year, it's the weather plays, as you know, plays a huge role in game of cricket, and it'd be wonderful to have completed games that include all these superstars, and it's just a great opportunity.
Right. But let's go to the other big news that happened recently. ABD retiring. How do you feel about that?
Personally,
Hello?
it's kind of it is kind of sad to see. Such a big player, such a huge inspiration. I know not only to myself, but to a lot of other cricketers involved with American college cricket and with cricket around the world. Some, some is that one person that we've always, sort of looked up to, in terms that how freakishly he plays and how easy he makes the game look. And I know any batsman, especially who's looking to, expand his game, that's the one person you go see to the nets and try to do all the funky things he does. But it's just, in my opinion, really sad that the international game loses such a player. And I believe it has the time has come for governing bodies like the ICC to take measures in terms of how international scheduling is done to make sure that players like ABD, like all the other big names, are not burning out early due to, like as he said in his video, that it's not even the money, it's just that he's tired. So we need to make sure, that the governing organizations are not putting players in such a place where they're being burnt out.
Okay. Let me just take a moment to say hi to Venkat Reddy, Sneh Tiger Patel, Sandeep Parapu, a few of our guys, main guys who have joined the broadcast. Thanks, guys, for joining the broadcast, as well as others who joined us. And I'm speaking with Ibrahim from Ryerson University. Ryerson, of course, was the 2017 American College Cricket Champion. Satya joining us again. Now, the other thing is, who's your pick
Yeah.
to win the IPL?
I think for myself, it's no doubt CSK Chennai. Yep, yep.
Okay. Now, is that normally your team throughout the season or some another
Um,
team?
there's two favorite teams for me. One's KKR and one's CSK, and both of them are in the playoffs. KKR playing the Eliminator too, but I believe as like in tournaments as we have seen in in the entire tournament so far, at the crucial moments in those pressure situations, it's always seems to be the experienced players, and that's what CSK has gone for. Like KKR is a brilliant team. They have one of the best all around teams in the entire tournament, and I absolutely love and support that team throughout whenever since I've watched IPL. But I just believe that CSK has that experience, and if you look at their entire lineup from top to bottom, it's just filled with experience, and they got the best captain in the world to lead them in through any situation. So that's going to be a real handful for any opposition to beat them, especially in finals, and especially because they are the team that has been there in that final situation so many times that they know exactly how to deal with most of the pressure situations and how to get out of them.
Now, you were in class today because you're doing summer classes, as you said. So I don't know if you had a chance to watch any of the tests going on
Yep.
between Pakistan and England at Lord's. Pretty good day for Pakistan. Hello?
Yep, I'm right
A
here.
pretty good day for Pakistan in that test.
Yep. Actually, I did get a chance to sneak a few moments in the morning because it starts at 6 a.m. Canadian time here in Toronto, and it was up until 12-ish, so I just got to see a few. I think, yeah, pretty good day from what it looks like on the scorecard. And obviously, it's surprising given that England's one of the best teams at home. Like, their away record has been bad for a while, but at home, they're one of the teams that can be reckoned with. But Pakistan, with the inexperienced side, they have come in. They've shown England really how to bowl, and that was one of the main highlights for me from the little bit that I watched. Is that Pakistan's bowlers, they were getting the ball up really full, getting it to swing, and making the batsmen play at all times. And if you look at all the wickets that have fallen down, it was mostly batsmen LBW caught behind or bowled. And for me, that was really, really stand out as compared to the English teamers, even though if you look at England, they've got Anderson and Broad with over 900 wickets in Test cricket, over 200 Test experience, but they still, after so much experience, they're still bowling too short, not making the batsmen play enough. And for like an inexperienced batting lineup, that was an easy getaway for them to just keep leaving anything they don't have to play. And at the end of the day, they're 50 runs with the loss of just one wicket, where it could have been 3 or 4.
Well, I heard something interesting today. It was Wazim Akram, yes, on the commentary. And he said that there have been changes in wickets in Pakistan. So the wickets now are encouraging the bowlers to bowl more like English bowlers. So it sort of gave an insight into why the Pakistani bowlers got so much success in this first innings. I mean, coming from someone like Wazim, I can just go based on what he said, because he knows both. He knows Pakistan and he knows bowling. So that was interesting to hear, because it's a change from what it used to be in his day, for example.
Yeah. Especially the wickets, they did change them because Pakistan's got a tour to England, and then at the end of the year, they've got a tour coming up in South Africa, if you're following the Pakistan cricket team. So I think the whole thinking behind that was to prepare wickets such as those two. What they wanted to do was to see which of the current crop of batsmen who are playing domestic cricket would really stand up to that challenge, right? But in that process, they've also identified bowlers who would be succeeding on those type of wickets. And I think someone like Mohammad Abbas, if you looked at him today, 4 wickets, perfect bowler for such conditions, because he doesn't have expert pace, doesn't have extravagant swing. Like, he's not making it hooping around at banana swingers or out swingers. He's just bowling line length, perfect, just nibbling around a bit and making the batsman play, as I said before, just the key. And it's pretty good that you see a country put that much level of thought into their upcoming tours. So it was really good to see that.
Oh, good. Well, one of the reasons we're covering tests, of course, is because not only are they important, I'm a supreme believer in test matches, and I feel that there's no reason they should be on the downward in terms of their place in the cricket world. It's a question of marketing them better. So we'll always be supporting test cricket, myself personally, and American college cricket as a whole. And you get to see some great play like we had today. So it's been awesome talking to you. I know you actually stepped out of class to do this, so I appreciate that. And we'll talk again. And I may even be up in Toronto soon, hopefully. See you then.
It's nice to see everyone join us, and thank you so much for the opportunity. Bye.
Bye. So tune in again Sunday night at 8 p.m. when we'll have the next show. That'll be a wrap-up of the IPL and any other really important cricket news.